What it do, Kaizoku Crew? It's your boy, Kaizoku Ice. Today's video, we're going to be talking about OP-13 and why it's the best set ever, why you need to take out a loan, drain your 401k to buy this set. But, wait, do y'all smell that? Wait, what does that smell? It smells like we hit 3,000 subscribers. Let's go! I was low-key tired, I'm not gonna lie. I don't do that much cardio anymore. Anyways, we had to wild out just a little bit because 3,000 subscribers is an insane milestone to hit. I cannot believe that we're already here and we're going even higher because the Kaizoku Crew, all 3,000 y'all are my friends, y'all are my nakama, and y'all support me crazy. It's literally insane how much y'all support me. So, guys, we have to do a 3,000 subscriber giveaway, so we're not giving away not one, not two, but 3 cars. Bam! Going crazy. So, the first card we're going to give away is this Bello Betty PSA 10 from OP-05. Bello Batty. Love it. Love that. Next card we're giving away, actually no, let's do that one last. Next one we're giving away is the Sakazuki SP. Not bad. Look at the thing shine. Ooh, amazing. And the last card, as y'all, I kind of spoiled it a little bit. We're giving away this Luffy from the 25th edition premium card collection. Amazing card. It's like, I think it's like $200 right now. But, you know, Kaizoku Ice, why would you give a $200 card away? Well, it's because I'm insane in this economy, kind of unheard of. But at the same time, the Kaizoku Crew is just so amazing. I feel like, and I want to make sure that the Kaizoku Crew knows they're rewarded. So, please, as y'all already know, if you're not already subscribed, that's the only way to win the giveaway. You have to literally be subscribed. So subscribe right now. Go ahead and leave a like also. But please wait till the end of the video. I will let y'all know exactly what to comment and what to do to win one of these cards. So we'll have 3 separate winners. And also, we're going to do some extra giveaways on Instagram. And if you follow me on Instagram, blah, 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 you'll get 2 entries. You guys know the whole deal. But I digress. This video has gone for way too long because of my dance break. But let's get into why OP-13 is the best set ever. Alright, let us get into the actual video now. Of course, we have an Excel sheet, hashtag Excel hype. So, you guys know I'm going to do my usual breakdown of cards and, you know, box value, best box value, total prices, etc. But I think first, it's kind of more important to kind of go over the game theory about why I think OP-13 is going to be fantastic. OP-13 is releasing on October 26th, so in about 2 weeks. We did just have PRB2 release about 2 weeks ago also, so there's a little bit of an overlap between sets. Quick note, PRB2 is fantastic, horrible hit rates. However, if you keep that product sealed over the test of time, that set's going to do extremely well. I'm comparing that to EB01, 2, and PRB1. Obviously, if we're only getting 1 wave of PRB2, it's going to do extremely well. Some of the prices for like the mangas and manga event rares are relatively high right now. I do think eventually it's going to go higher, but that's all I have for PRB2. If you can still find it right now for retail, buy it. If not, put your money into OP-13. So OP-13 is a Christmas or anniversary set. The other 3 being OP-01, OP-05, and OP-09. And OP-13, I think, is going to have a similar trend, if not better, than all of those sets, bar Romance Dawn. So, one of the first reasons I think why you should buy OP-13, quite simply, is there's a lot of incentives with getting OP-13. If you guys didn't watch my video going over the reveal that they had at Bandai Card Games Fest in Dallas about, 3 weeks ago? If you go to the official, Bandai One Piece Trading Card Game stores, and buy a box of OP-13, you will get this treasure campaign pack, and it has the chance to pull this Luffy card. Amazing. This card right here is, I don't think it's going to be serialized, but if it was, crazy amounts of money. But even if it's not, I would literally pay $1,000 raw for this card. I mean, full frontal Monkey D. Luffy picture, amazing. And we still have some amazing cards right here too. You can literally get Ace, Sabo, Luffy, and some of these event manga rares also. I think that that's a no-brainer. So, like, first off, like, the incentive with it is insane. But, guys, this set has so many amazing cards. First off, this is TCG Republic, which I don't love, and I'll explain later why. But if you guys don't know what's in this set already, we've got some amazing cards. I realize that this is kind of cut off here. Let me see if I can find a better one. Oh, yeah, this one might be better. Okay, guys, we've got the red manga rares. We've got Luffy, Ace, and Sabo, and then we've got the regular manga rares. Right off the bat, this is a set with a lot of star power, and when I'm comparing it to the other sets, in particular 1, 5, 9, and 13, or 1, 5, and 9, to me, this hands down beats all of them. I mean, with OP-01, we have the Shanks. OP-05, we've of course got the Gear 5 Luffy, and we've also got the Oda Sign Luffy, and then OP-09, we've got the Gold Roger. But guys, I've added up all of the numbers. I added up all the Japanese numbers. I did some projections, and guys, the numbers for OP-13 are actually insane. So let us now take a look at the Excel sheet. So I got all the OP-13 Japanese prices. The box price for 2 boxes of OP-13 is $110. As a reminder, why I do 2 boxes instead of just 1 box is because in a box of Japanese One Piece, you only get 1 hit compared to the minimum of 2 hits that you get in English boxes. So that's why I just multiplied by 2. But 1 box of Japanese goes for about $55 to $60. I went lower on the conservative side, so $110. The total value of the top 10, not even just top 10, I basically added all of the cards that, all the top chase hits from OP-13. So that's basically, obviously, the red manga rares, the regular manga rares, the SSP Shanks in red and gold, and then the 5 elders, the textured 5 elders with the red text at the bottom, and then the 4 wanted posters here. So a little bit more than 10, but that's just because this set is jam-packed with so many great cards. The total for those top cards is $8,670, which is quite high actually, because when you compare it to some of the English sets where I've done my price breakdowns before, this is even higher than the English sets, which is disgusting, right? Absolutely disgusting. And then most expensive card is that red Luffy. Raw price is kind of fluctuates, and it was kind of hard to get an exact price because, as you can see here on TCG Republic, which I'm not using, we have a listing of $4,700, but then on TCG Corner, we have a listing of $2,700, right, for the Luffy here. And then on eBay, I saw some sales, like I think I saw an auction for $1,800. So this has been kind of all over the place, but I basically just took the average of all 3, and I put the price to $2,500. Although I don't think that that's going to be the price for English because, well, I have a theory behind that later on. But in Japanese, it's $2,500, and then everything else I just kind of filled out. The cheapest alt art I'm assuming is going to be extremely low, only about $1, because the lowest price for the Secret Rare Kaido in OP-05 is about, I think, 30 cents to $1, and I'm expecting OP-13 to be a similar set that's printed, has insane print runs similar to OP-05 and OP-09. So, you know, I'm thinking that the cheapest card in that set, the cheapest hit in OP-13 is going to be like less than $1. So, you know, best box in Japan is probably like $2,500 if you hit that red manga rare. And, you know, that gives us a best box ratio. Actually, that's technically wrong. Let me just update this real quick. 55. So actually, yeah, best box ratio in Japanese would be 45x your money, which is kind of disgusting, pretty fantastic. And then for OP-13, here are my projections. But first, the way I got those numbers, I basically just got all those top chase cards that I mentioned earlier. And then I got the Japanese prices, and I did my little Kaizoku, I spin on it, and I put my English projection prices on it. So, oh, whoops, wrong tab. So for all of these prices here, once again, I use a mix of TCG Corner. TCG Republic had some good prices, definitely not that red Luffy price. That's kind of disgusting and insane. But then I also use I use eBay, and you know, that was pretty much my 3 data points to get these prices here in the Excel sheet. So in Japanese, you know, obviously the most popular card is that red manga Luffy, $2,500. The red manga Ace actually is, I've seen it all over the place. So I kind of just listed it at $2,000, and I think that that's pretty accurate. So if y'all see anything lower or higher, you know, just take that with a grain of salt. Red manga Sabo, of course, Sabo doesn't do as well as the other three brothers, which, by the way, just side note, I still don't know why the OP-04 Sabo manga is still so low. That's what I don't know. I literally don't know why. I mean, it costs lower than the Rayleigh, which makes no sense to me because Old Man Rayleigh we don't love, but we love Sabo, so that's kind of interesting. Maybe there's opportunity there. I don't know. Moving along, the next mangas of the regular mangas of Luffy Ace Sabo, it seems like they're quite cheap, which is really weird because, you know, when you're looking at between the regular manga rare and then the red manga rare, I mean, besides the fact that this has the cool borders and some different manga panels in the back, I mean, arguably this is a pretty clean card in itself. And if you don't like the color red, for example, like I don't really care for red. I like this one right here. I like the yellow background. But I don't really care too much for a red background. But regardless, the red background, this one's going to do extremely well. This is going to do numbers in the club. Insane card, right? But if you could get this card, like, I mean, for, I think the raw price in Japanese was like $400. If you could get this card for less than $1,000 in English, I mean, that's like a no-brainer to me. Right now, it's a Luffy market, which is another video for another time. But I mean, this is crazy. And yeah, $470 for this card, and I'm projecting it to be like 1,000 in English. I mean, maybe even less than 1,000. That's a no-brainer. You need that Luffy. Same with Ace and Sabo, $350. I don't think I need to go over too much of the Japanese prices. This is pretty much, you could just Google it yourselves. So I'm going to focus more on the English prices, and I'm going to give you my reasons why I think the English prices are just going to go crazy. So before I go into, you know, I can't get hold of my tabs correctly. Before I get into the prices of the red manga rares, I need to explain, you know, kind of my thought process behind why I think these red manga rares are going to be so expensive. So when you look at, for example, Gear 5 Luffy and the Goldie Roger manga rares, right? When you look at the population counts, they're pretty low. This is in Japanese, obviously, but in English, wrong one. In English, we have 840 in the PSA 10. Japanese, we have 2,600 in the PSA 10. So about 1/3 of the population in English. And then in Japanese, we have 953 in a PSA 10. But in English, we only have 211 in a PSA 10. So to me, what that means is that the very top chase hits that of a set, right, for OP-05 and OP-09, the Gear 5 manga rare and then the Goldie Roger special manga rare, it seems to me that the distribution of the manga rares is not exactly, you know, like 1-to-1. You know, if you open up, let's say 20 cases and you're expected, let's say 10 manga rares, I would argue that you might get, for example, like for OP-09, let's use OP-09 for example, you might only get 2 Goldie Roger manga rares, and you might get like, actually I'd argue maybe even only 1 Goldie Roger manga rare, and then you might get like 3 Buggies, 2 Shankses, 3 Luffys, and 1 Blackbeard, right? And basically, I don't think that the distribution for the like special manga rares is exactly the same. Because, I mean, for a pop count of 211 for this one in English, and this set's already been out for a whole year, that seems really, really low. And I do think that the population count, let's just quickly look, actually. Let's look up Shanks Manga Rare OP-09 PSA 10. If you look at the population for this card, hopefully they have the pop count here. Yeah, we have 465 for the Shanks, which is clearly double than the Roger right here. So basically, where I'm going with this is, I think that for this red manga rare, for either the Ace, Sabo, or Luffy, I think that the distribution is going to be a lot lower than what we expect with like a regular manga rare, right? And I think that's evident with the example here with the Goldie Roger. To have only a 211 population count like a whole year later, that shows that this card is very hard to pull. And I do think that it's going to be a similar case with the Luffy. I mean, for the simple fact that manga rares are very hard to pull, and the fact that we have literally 6 manga rares, 3 red and 3 regular, and I'm expecting that the red ones are going to be extremely hard to get. Nah. To me, that shows that the red manga rare prices are going to go insane. And For English to Japanese prices, I usually use like a rule of thumb. It's about 1.5 to 2x the price between Japanese to English. So that's why right now, conservatively, I just went with that 2x price for a raw red manga rare Luffy. But guys, I think it can go a lot higher, and if it goes a lot higher, then this set's gonna go even more insane than I think it will. With the Goldie Roger manga rare, right? I mean, that card in itself, we've seen sales of like 10k in a PSA 10. I'm not sure what the raw price is, but I'm thinking that the red manga Luffy is gonna be higher than the Roger, provided that it's gonna be more scarce than the Roger, right? We don't know what it's gonna look like, but if it is more scarce, it's game over, because everybody knows Luffy is the card or the character to buy right now. Every Luffy card's going insane. So conservatively, I put 5,000. It could go even higher, but for right now, let's keep it at 5,000. For the Ace, I just 2x also, because that Ace card's just fantastic. I love that art. It's Ace in like his old days, because the current Ace manga rare we have right now is from Paramount War, so you could say like the newer graphics. But I like this Ace one. I think it's probably for him in like Alabaster, right? So the older like 2000s graphics, amazing. Then for the Sabo, I didn't 2x it. I put it at 1,500 just because Sabo gets absolutely no love for no reason. But I do think that, you know, Sabo does deserve more love. Especially, I mean, he's still in the show. Revolutionary Army King. I mean, what is there not to like about Sabo? Moving along with the regular manga rares, not too much to say about these. I basically just 2x them, but with the Luffy, I did a little bit more because I think that Luffy is so underrated. And if the OP-09 Luffy, which I personally didn't love, is going for like $3,000 in a PSA 10, I'd expect this Luffy to go for about $2,000 in a PSA 10 instantly, right off the bat. I mean, manga rares are so hard to pull in general. Y'all already know the vibe, so like, yeah. And then moving along, I think the only other one I want to talk about is the Shanks SSP. I do think that the Shanks SSP is a great card also. The Blackbeard Gold SSP in OP-12 is going for almost $1,000 right now. So I do expect the Shanks to do better than the Blackbeard. So I think that this is a pretty good price point. And then with the 5 Elders with Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, those guys, it's hard to put a price point, honestly. I feel like there probably isn't going to be an insane demand for those cards, even though the art's insane and drawn by Gege Akutami, the artist of Jujutsu Kaisen. I just don't think it's going to do extremely well compared to the other chase hits, but I still think that they're really good cards in general. And then the wanted posters, I mean, y'all can just look at those numbers yourselves, but the total that I'm estimating for this set is a whopping $16,000 for these top hits, which is insane because if you look at the prices, granted, this sheet has not been updated since June, the total prices for the top 10 cards across all the other sets, nothing's even close to 10,000. The closest one is probably OP-09 and I guess OP-11, but also, once again, side note, this is not an updated chart, so this is probably closer to like maybe like 8,000 now, but regardless, even if it's closer to 10,000, right? The simple fact that we're at 16,000 projected for this, let's call it plus minus 10%, we're still over $10,000 for this set, which is disgustingly high. And guys, this is why, you know, I started the video out with, guys, take out a loan, and obviously I put my like disclaimer there, not financial advice, please do not take out a loan, drain your 401k, but guys, when you're just looking at some of the cards in this set, I mean, this set has all the makings for a kingmaker. This set is gonna be disgusting, and it's so many nice cards, guys. Like, I mean, we're getting another Luffy manga rare, which you could say that there's some fatigue with Luffy manga rares, but at the end of the day, is there really fatigue when it's our boy Monkey D. Luffy? Kinda no, because clearly the market shows that anything Luffy related is going to do extremely well, and I do think that's going to be the case with this Luffy card also. So, if I haven't convinced you guys enough with, you know, just off of the actual numbers here, let's go back in time and also compare OP-05 and OP-09, because I think that this set will follow a similar trend line to OP-09 and OP-05. So, OP-09, obviously, Goldie manga rare, Roger. In the past year, you know, it's pretty much just gone up. We've seen some dips here and there. It pretty much follows what the stock market looks like, to be honest. But, you know, when it released, it pre-released around like what, $180 or so, and then it went all the way down to $130 on release. And this is because, there's talks about more waves being printed, and it was very accessible. But guys, trust me, over time, I've said this before about OP-9, and it seems like the theory and thesis is true. It just goes up because it has a Goldie, Manga Rare, Roger, and if that card continues to increase, this box is going to continue to increase too. We're a year removed from this set, and yeah, as y'all can see, at this absolute lowest, 125, and it's now worth, what, 213? That's crazy, right? And same thing with OP-05 right here, right? I mean, this one is a crazy increase. Lowest in the past year is about 178. I think when I made my YouTube, right, it was about like a $200 box, but now it is a $375 box. That's crazy. This is pretty much the increase with this, with the price of this is simply because of the increase in prices of the Gear 5 Luffy and the Oda Sign Luffy. So, this makes a lot of sense. But, this is a similar increase from OP-05 and OP-09. I mean, it only goes up. And if we look at OP-13, let's see, Carrying on His Will, I think is the name. Yeah. Pre-sale box right now is $175. I mean, if we're literally just going to compare that to OP-13 or OP-09. Oh, I already X'd out of it. Dang it. Oh, wait. Sorry, guys. It is early in the morning. Emperor's in the new... Can't even type right now. It's way too early for that. Emperor's in the New World. Let's find the box price here. Where is the box? Here. If you look at this trend, right, it kind of like on pre-release, it was about like 180. Right here is also about like 180. So I honestly think that we can probably, this set is going to follow a similar trend line in my opinion. Maybe it doesn't go as low as 125. I mean, I would think that Bandai is going to print more boxes. So, I think it could be around like, it could dip to about 130, 140-ish. But guys, trust me, over the test of time, barring economic shutdown and collapse, it's going to see a similar trend line to this. So even if you're buying this set right now for 175, yeah, maybe you're paying a little bit high on pre-release, but trust. If it, it might go down, but it will go back up eventually. I mean, this set is way too good of a set for it to be only, like, in the next year, only $150. Like, there's absolutely no way, and, it's just insane, guys. So, I think that's pretty much it, actually. I went over the pop counts, why I think that the Red Luffy is going to be harder to find, went over the treasure campaign. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. So, OP-13, you guys saw all of the numbers right here. 28x best box ratio. That beats anything that we've seen in the One Piece trading card game so far. $16,000 top chase hit value. Guys, this is, in my opinion, actually, there's a safety rating and the Kaizoku Ice final rating that I haven't filled out yet. Literally, please just buy this set. Go bankrupt for this set. Not financial advice. Yeah, that's my rating, guys. It's to me, it's easily number one. The only thing better than OP-13 right now is keeping PRB2 sealed, because that's gonna be, that's a special set. And OP-13, if they mass produce a set, which I'm praying, because I want to open up as much OP-13 as I can. If they mass produce a set, that's still okay. I still think that it's going to be extremely hard to hit those red manga rares and manga rares in general. So I think that this set, even if it's mass produced crazy, will still go to the moon, right? I think it's just way too good of a set. So that is it for this video. Please buy your OP-13. It is the best so far. I absolutely love it. And, we have OP-14 coming out in EB03. I don't think OP-14 is going to be that fantastic, but EB03 is going to do extremely well. But if you buy now in October, and when EB03 comes out in, I think, March, that gives us some time to save some money in between. So, okay, I'm going to pause right here, and let's go now into the giveaway. All right, guys, so giveaway, all y'all have to do to win one of these cards, we're going to do 3 winners for this giveaway. Of course, be subscribed, like the video, but comment down below. You have to actually follow the comment. You can't just say whatever. You have to follow the comment. Let me know exactly what you think about OP-13. You think it's going to be a really good set? Do you think it's better than OP-9, OP-05, whatever? Let me know exactly what you think about OP-13, and then it will enter you in to win one of these cards. And also, guys, I will be doing extra entries for the giveaway. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and then DM me on those social media platforms, and I'll give you an extra entry into the giveaway. That also, if you post on your Instagram story that I'm doing a giveaway, that's an additional entry. So you have 3 potential chances to win one of these cards. So get to it, Kaizoku Crew. Once again, guys, I love y'all so much. Y'all mean so much to me. This is the stuff that dreams are made of. 3,000 subscribers. Once again, just a dude with a hat, guys. That's it. Dude with a hat that loves One Piece. And I'll make sure that the Kaizoku Crew knows how much I love them. So, y'all give me love. I give it back to y'all. Thank you so very much for your support. Another couple videos this week. I don't know what the frequency is going to be, but hopefully I can put out like one every day. I don't know, but we will be doing a giveaway every single video. So, stay tuned. Stay tuned, Kaizoku Crew. I got a lot planned for y'all. So, I'm Kaizoku Ice. Thank you all again so much for the support. I'll catch y'all later. Stay cool, stay chill, and I'll catch y'all on the next video.